If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it. Okay. That even matters in this one. Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to the Remake-A-Thon. And as you can tell, we're looking at War of the Worlds starring Tom Cruise. No, that's next. No, we're looking after all that War of the Worlds starring Tom Cruise. A little out of breath. Don't worry about it. Charlie in the Chocolate Factory starring Michael Jackson. Johnny Depp. Sorry. But you watch this, come on. They say he wasn't inspiration, but so this is a movie I've avoided for years. Like years. We had a DVD at the house. I put it in one time. I said, I'll give it a chance. Put it in. Got about 5 to 10 minutes in, and I went, nope. It just, from the very beginning of this movie, you see that Tim Burton's style doesn't work with this story. I know it's based on a children's book where everything's got to be whimsical, but it just, when it starts, first of all, everything in the original, practical. This is 2005, CGI. They're on a green screen. They're on a whole set. They're on a set. They're on a green screen. Most of it is green screen. Maybe the house is real, but, and the house is all crooked and stuff, and, And I couldn't remember exactly what set me off, but I now know what it was. They decided that Charlie is going to have both his parents in this. Now, I don't know if that was in the book or what. I don't care. Him having... So, first of all, that's a lot of people to just be poor. Okay, I don't buy that he has both his parents and neither of them can make enough money. Like, they don't even mention her job doing laundry in the laundry soup or whatever you call it, in the laundry place. It's just his dad works in a toothpaste factory. Okay. Because I'll get to that. So he has the dad here when originally he was dead. Dead dad. Deadbeat dad. Daddy didn't love me! No, he's dead. So, he's not there. And this, to my opinion, makes Grandpa Joe obsolete. Because the whole point of Grandpa Joe in the original was he was the father figure. That's why Charlie wanted him to go. In this one, when they go to make the decision, Joe's like, I'll do it. I'll go. And I'm just like, wait, what? They took the decision away from Charlie? Like in the original, he chose Grandpa Joe because that's his father figure. And also unlike the original, where it took him a while to get used to walking in, here he's like, yippee! Gets up and dances. I laughed my ass off. Once you think about it, it's like, what? I'm laughing again. It's like, what? He's been bedridden. It was more realistic in the original, where here we gotta get over that because, where they could have taken, like, we don't, I also feels like, remember in the original, how there was pandemonium with the Wonka's bar situation? They go through it very quick. Like, the first 4 are found in succession. You only let maybe one scene in between them. I think maybe 3 and 4 doesn't even have really a scene in between them. And then in 5, for the 5th one, they change it from Brazil to Russia for some reason. And it's still fake. And they've also changed some of the parents around. Like here it's Mike TV's dad that goes with him. It's Violet Beauregard's mother that goes with her. And I don't like Mr. Salt at all. He's one of my favorite characters in the original. Roy Kinnear is fantastic. Here, this guy's just snobby rich dude. and the kids. Freddie Highmore is good, and Anna Sophia Robb, she's a great actress, but what she's given here as Violet, the, the actress they got to play Veruca, almost as creepy as Johnny Depp. There's a part where she tries to look cute. She's like take it away, take it away, make it stop. And they changed the golden geese to squirrels and nuts. I get that's in the movie, in the book. That's in the book. I was very confused though, but apparently that's in the book. And they couldn't do that back in 1971, obviously. And I watched the video with oh, they had real squirrels, and I'm like, fuck no, they didn't. That was CGI. Apparently, it was augmented with CGI. There was real squirrels there. Apparently, there was real geese in the original. No, those were. Well, were the geese in the original real, or were they animatronic? Because I felt like, I don't know. Then you had Oompa Loompas, all played by one guy, Deep Roy, where he had to play different positions and different. That's a lot. Apparently he's paid $1 million for his performances, but it also takes away that each Oompa Loompa is supposed to be different. In the original, you had ones that looked different. Some were a little bit taller, but they're all short, but they're a little bit taller, a little bit. Some were fat, some were skinny. All walks of life. Oompa Loompas in the original. Here, it's the same guy, so they all look the same. They didn't just take his face and put it on different versions. No, it's just one guy, and because they want to be cheap with this, they just copied everything. Less money they have to pay little people, I guess. Wonka's backstory, don't need it. So they took out a bunch of the stuff at the beginning with the pandemonium and some of the backstory stuff. What do we know about Charlie? He's poor. We know about Augustus. He's fat. What do we know about Violet? She chews gum. What do we know about Veruca? She's a bitch. What do we know about Mike TV? He likes TV. Only, this time, he's not watching TV. He's playing video games because this is 2005, even though this is supposed to be olden times, but he's got video games. I'll admit he's playing an Atari setup, so maybe this is the 80s. Who knows? But I don't know why I said that. The 80s. I don't know. It just doesn't work. But we gotta pass through a bunch of the stuff at the beginning so we can, during the tour, they skip a lot of the stuff, a lot of the physical stuff. They have the Wonka video, which they introduced earlier in this film. They don't have the little thing with the spray stuff, which is fine, I guess, because in the original it messed up their skin. The foam stuff. There's the boat trip, which is not as scary. Although I did kind of laugh at Willy Wonka thinking to get whipped cream, you have to whip a cow. I don't think that's how it works, but that's fine. Remember when you were a kid and your parents told you that chocolate milk came from chocolate cows? And people were like, no, it doesn't. And you saw those commercials for camps where they show the chocolate cow. It's a cartoon, stupid. But, excuse me, we didn't need this backstory. I don't need to see Willy Wonka in gigantic Tim Burton-like braces. I'm sorry, I don't need that. They showed that and I'm like, why? Because Willy Wonka's dad was a dentist? Who cares? It's Christopher Lee. He could be doing some kind of Star Wars movie right now, but you have him playing Willy Wonka's dad for what's a glorified cameo. I don't need any of the backstory. Why is the backstory there? More padding. Because they ran through a lot of the stuff, so now this pads out the film. And this is not in the book. It's not in the original. It's just here. And it's not needed. It's also not in Wonka's backstory, because they don't do that in the... I almost for a minute thought, well, what if that new one is a prequel to this one? But then, when they did the thing where his dad's still alive, but his mom's not alive... No, because both his parents died. But his mom was the one who raised him. So... No. In that one. By the way, I've seen the new one. It's great. It's not as good as the original, but it was really good. I was iffy on it. As soon as it started, I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was a musical. By the end, I was crying. I was in tears. Happy tears, of course. Not, oh, I ruined it. No, like, oh, that was good. I didn't sound like that. That was good. That was good. No. But I didn't need any of the backstory. But what is all that for? Because at the end of the movie, we don't get the "you lose, good day, sir" thing. By the end, it's like, oh, you don't even left. I guess you win. And like, oh, okay. But because he had a problem with his dad, he doesn't like families. So he won't allow. First of all, he busts through their damn roof with the glass Wonka Vader. Poor people, man. You can't just do that. And when Charlie says, "Can I bring my family?" he's like, "Of course you can't. Families ruin things." Now, I do want to point out that within the context of Willy Wonka's overall philosophy on why he chose children, this actually makes sense. And let me tell you why. So they don't, first of all, they mentioned, so that's another reason I thought it might be connected, because they mentioned Slugworth and the other two who were characters in the Wonka movie. But there's no Mr. Dickinson or whatever his name is. There's no guy pretending to be Slugworth in this. That's another thing to cut out to put more backstory for Wonka in. And so, no, that's, So, he says, I don't know if he says as much in this, but the original Wonka says they pick children because children still have imaginations. Children will know what to do with the chocolate, where adults will do it only for the money, and your kids will keep it going, And by this philosophy, if he allows the parents and the family to go with him, the parents might try to take it over and do what they want with it. But it's still, it's something to trot out so that Wonka can go meet his dad. Why is it these people live seemingly in the middle of nowhere? Like, Charlie's house is in a big empty field. His dad lives in a big empty snow field. And for some reason, even though we find out he's been following his son, he doesn't recognize him. Doesn't have one picture what he looks like now? I guess not. But then they reconcile with a hug, and then it's revealed that instead of saying, okay, you can let your parents move in, it just cuts to, we see him and Willy Wonka going to the house, and I'm like, why are they acting like they're just late for dinner? And they're talking about the factory. I'm like, what, huh? What? They don't talk about work. I'm like, wait, what? And then they pan out, and you see that actually their house, still all messed up, is inside the factory. Why is their house in a goddamn factory? They don't need the house. They don't need the house. They have a whole damn factory. Isn't there not rooms for them to stay in? I don't understand it. But yeah. Whereas in the original, you had, "You lose, good day, sir." I kind of like the musical ending where he flies out in the Wonka Vader and over the place, and that line. You know what they say about the guy got everything he ever wanted, happily ever after. Whatever that line is, Here, it's just, oh look, they got what they wanted. Right? A couple more things. There's a moment that I almost shut it off because I thought they were going in a draft. I knew that they went to the factory. All right, but it was just like, wait, what are you doing here? So when they get the ticket, because when he finds the ticket, someone offers him $50 and a bicycle. Another person offers him $500. So when he gets back, they're like, "Oh, we're going to go, yippee." He's like, "No, we're not going. I can sell this ticket. Someone offered me $500, I can make more." I'm like, but what? I get it. He wants to help out his family, but because his dad got fired from the toothpaste factory because there was an overrun of people with uh, cavities because of all the candy, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't make any. And before I can finish the sentence, I'm like, what doesn't make any? So they reveal that they automated it to machines. I'm like, oh, gotcha. I was like, wait, if they, at first I was like, wait, if the cavity is increasing the need for toothpaste, why are they firing people? And then before I could finish the sentence, it's like, okay, machines. I get it. I didn't think of that. Also, big negative for Charlie's mom. Helena Bonham Carter. No. Just, no. I get it. She and Burton were a thing. But we've seen with Rob Zombie that putting your wife in everything doesn't work. No. Now, Helena Bonham Carter can run circles around Rob Zombie's wife any day. But couldn't she have been Willy Wonka's mom in a flashback? So we understand. When I picture Charlie's mom, like, she doesn't look poor. The actress who played the mom in the original, she looked poor. Probably makeup. But here they put some makeup on her. It's still Helena Bonham Carter. And though she's not a gorgeous woman, she's not a bad looker. You know, she's not bad looking. She's old enough to be my mother, but you know, she's not bad looking. Again, Charlie's mom in the original had that kind of look. I wouldn't say she was bad looking. Again, it could be makeup, but she had that look of poor woman. This looks like Helena Bonham Carter playing a poor woman in a movie directed by Tim Burton. You know? And now, the biggest problem with the movie, Johnny Depp. What the hell is he doing in this movie? Not like, how is he acting? What is he doing in this movie? Well, I understand if you want Johnny Depp to be in this movie, you know, he can reinvent himself like he did with Jack Sparrow. But Jack Sparrow is a national treasure. And that's right. Not you. Oh, sorry. No, but Johnny Depp. Jack Sparrow is a different creature altogether. He's a great character. This is Jim Carrey and Michael Jackson smooshed together. You're weird. I'm like, he said that. I'm like, look in the mirror and say that. What is this? Look, Gene Wilder had his eccentricities. That's a big word. Good for you. Eccentricities, you know? He insisted on the fall. At the beginning of that movie, when they first, not beginning, but the beginning of the sequence where they introduced him, he insisted on doing that fall. That's the one thing. He said, I'll take the job. You have me do that. Because from that moment on, you wouldn't know whether or not to trust him. Here, you don't want to trust him. Because you're weird. And he's like, you know, and just... And also, they ask a lot of questions, you know, like when Oompa Loompas start singing. By the way, it's not a musical, but Oompa Loompas sing songs. And Mike TV points out, hey, how come you have choreographed songs made for each one of the kids? And I'm like, yeah, wait a minute. You consider the original Oompa Loompa Doompa Dee Doo. They can make it up at the top of their heads because every single song is Oompa Loompa Doompa Dee Doo, you know? But this one, it's different music, different lyrics every single time. Yeah, it makes it a little more problematic. It's like, wait a minute, how did he know? Right? And they do change some things here. Like, you know, Augustus does go down, you know, the chocolate chute. That happens. You know, everything kind of happens the same, except for uh, Veruca, of course, because that's nuts instead of eggs. So she's a bad nut instead of a bad egg. And her and her father are sucked down the thing to a garbage chute. Yeah, she wants a squirrel, and Wonka won't sell her a trained squirrel. Now, I get the goose that laid the golden eggs. I get that. I get it. Because the goose that lays the golden egg, you know that out there. But a squirrel, you can tell which nut is good and which nut is bad. I'm not saying it'll come in handy necessarily. Why am I bouncing? Stop. But I think it's less of a no type situation than the goose that lays the golden eggs. No one's going to question really a squirrel chewing on a nut where you have a goose. How'd you get a golden egg? Never mind. Where's it? You know, one might say, how did you know to do that? It's a squirrel. They know things. Easier to pass off. But yeah. And of course, Mike TV gets shrunk on the TV. And I do like his explanation here. That thing about this, where it's like, where he says this, he says, you know, you put it on TV, you have an ad, and it's like, this chocolate is so good, you know, with it, try for yourself. And you can reach to the TV, however that works, and grab the chocolate bar and try it, and then you can go out and buy more. How that would work with a regular TV, I don't know. Because, like, you try to reach through it, ow, you know? I don't know. But I like the explanation. And I do like that we see at the end of this, all the people did survive, whereas the original, you're left wondering, are they all alive, or did Willy Wonka kill them? In this version, I think they had to show it, because someone's like, if you don't show that they're alive, they may actually think that Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka did kill them. There's a whole parody in Epic Movie where Crispin Glover, who's already creepy without the makeup, played Willy Wonka, that Willy Winker dude, beats by head, Willy Wonka in that version, or just Willy, and he was using them for parts. Even though they take off, he knocks off one of their heads and throws it in a lemon head thing. But that she's fine in the next scene. But they're using it for this chocolate thing. But I lost trail. Yeah, it shows that they survived, and it shows Augusta is still covered in chocolate and still trying to lick the chocolate off. It shows Violet no longer blown up, but she's still blue. And she's more acrobatic now, because that's what she is. She's acrobatic. But she still chews gum, which you could choke on that, you know. Veruca and her dad are covered in garbage, because they went to the garbage chute. They survived on a giant pile of garbage, apparently. And Mike TV was brought back to normal size of being stretched out. He's literally just flat and stretched out. Yeah. And I do like one of the final lines when he gets in. When Willie and Charlie come back, Willie sits next to one of the grandmas, and she goes, "You smell like peanuts." And he goes, "You smell like old people and soap." And she puts his head on him. He's like, I like that. It made me smile. But I'm going to give it a middle of the road. Because I'm going to watch Willy Wonka. I'm going to watch the original. Or I want something different, I'll watch the new one. I don't know. I dreaded watching this, but I don't regret that I did. Because now I've finally seen it, and I can finally tell you that it's not worth your time. But it's still the middle of the road. How does that work? It's the middle of the road, but I still don't think it's worth your time. I don't understand. Just watch the other two. If you get okay, here's the thing. It's not worth your time unless you have the feeling to want to try to watch it. Then it's the middle of the road. But ultimately, it's the middle of the road, okay? How about this? It's a low middle of the road, so close to not worth your time, but not jumping over the line. So it's just on the line of middle of the road, but not falling into not worth your time. Okay? We'll say that. So, what are your thoughts on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Let me know so much. Like, share, and subscribe. And like I said already, the War of the Worlds remake with Tom Cruise is next. So thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.